The cluster was started by a call of the Ministry of University and Research in 2012 and has been created as an association of universities, companies, research centers that are joining effort in order to define the future of manufacturing in Italy. The main idea of the cluster is to be at Italian level similar to what is Factories of the Future at European level. So it's a kind of public-private partnership where the private part is represented by companies, universities, research institutions, associations. And the private part is, in this case, the ministries. And in particular, the Ministry of University and Research, but also the Ministry of Enterprise. Up to now, the cluster has 293 partners, like 80% are enterprises. And the first activities that the cluster has been doing is to create a roadmap, and this roadmap has been given to the ministries in December 2014. This roadmap basically starts from the Italian situation, the challenges that are around, what they mean for manufacturing, and they try to combine these challenges with the Italian situation to define what is needed in Italy, what are the research lines that should be supported at national level. And so this process has been going on, consulting all the partners, getting the input from the basis, from the group of 293 partners, taking account the European roadmaps and putting these ideas together to define what is needed at the Italian level, so that is in line what is needed by the companies, but also is in line with what is going on in Europe. So this ends up in a roadmap. This roadmap has been already given to the ministries. It will be published also in English in the next month, so it will be available. So it will be downloadable from the website fabbricaintelligente.it, which is the Italian name for intelligent factory. And basically the ministries already took this roadmap, and the first calls of the Ministry of Enterprise that appeared last month already follow some of the topics that were suggested by this intelligent factory cluster. So the idea is now to be able also to create a kind of bilateral or multilateral agreement with other countries that have similar structures, so that we can find ways to support even better manufacturing, which is one of the most important strengths Italy has, and is definitely the biggest sector in terms of export. And as you know, Italy plays the second position in Europe in manufacturing, so it's very important that now we have a cluster that puts together all the actors and tries to create connections with other countries that are also strong in manufacturing, so that we can support, let's say, at the end, manufacturing in Europe. So this is the main ideas, the main goal. Clearly, it takes a lot of effort and change of mentality, but it's also very interesting for the participants because it's a way also of exchanging ideas and points of view. Being the only place where you put together, in a formal way, both academia, research centers and companies to discuss together and present together a document. So this is, if you think it's the only place, like it's the only place in Europe for Factories of the Future to do the same at European level. So I think that this is really what is needed in order to give direction to research, because this is the most important issue. We should do research, but first of all we should define our aim, which are the direction. So this is what the cluster is trying to support in defining. And I think this technical part and this consultation with all the partners was missing somehow in the past, and now is in place. And the document that is going to be presented, the roadmap that will be available in English, is an official document that says the Italian position of a cluster in this topic. This cluster is one of the 12 clusters that the government started, and each of them deals with a specific sector. So one is on aeronautical sector, the other is on healthcare, and so on and so forth. So the only one in manufacturing is the intelligent factory cluster, but it's important to know that it's a part of a system of clusters that the government is supporting. And in the new national program of the government, the clusters are mentioned in very high position, in very high priority, and also the resources are given to the topics of these 12 clusters. So I think that the whole system is trying to create a structure and also a formalized way to support research with a clear idea for the future aim. So this, I think, is the novelty of at least for the Italian situation. And I think it can give a lot of opportunities now for the development at the Italian level, but also in connection to other countries at European level. The first result is that we launched 4 projects. The total value of these 4 projects is around 40 million euro, and they started around 1 year ago. They are 3 years projects, and they deal with the most important topics that we identify as really urgent. Then we identified many more, but these were the first that we identified as very urgent. So they deal with sustainable manufacturing, with adaptable manufacturing, with ICT manufacturing, and with high-performance manufacturing. These 4 topics, each of them has a project of around 10 million euro value. Put together, altogether around 90 partners that are working on these activities. So I think this is a really practical activity that we already started, and also is also a clear practical support from the government to the cluster, because they launched these 4 projects. So I think this is this shows the willingness to go in the direction of supporting the manufacturing, research in manufacturing.